The other day, I ran into an ex-boyfriend. This was someone I dated well after my divorce, whom I loved. But I still felt this connection to him. And I was like, what is that? Why is that? So I thought, let's talk about soul ties. And listen, I'm not going to go all religious and spiritual on you and beat you up for soul ties. Most people are like, soul ties happen when you go to bed with someone. Well, yeah, but they also happen when you've confided in maybe someone you thought was your best friend, and you've told that person your deepest, darkest secrets, your fears, and maybe they share them with other people. Or your relationship, your friendship disintegrates, and that person is left holding all of that stuff you told them, and you feel like a piece of you is with that person. It can happen then too. It can happen in work relationships. It can be sharing things with your family, wanting support and pouring into them, and having them like push you away, do the Heisman or whatever that is that kids do in football and college athletes do, which is awesome. It's just that deep, dark feeling you're left with. Despair, I think. It's like someone has a piece of you and you can't get it back. Part of our energy we feel like is left with that person. And we give so much energy or love or attention to that person. And part of their energy is left with us. And I think both ways, if that relationship is over, that is a negative thing. And I'm going to teach you at the end of this video some prayers or a way to give it to the universe that can help free you from those soul ties. So let's learn how to get past those soul ties. So number one is we've got to give ourselves grace. We've got to look at ourselves and go, I was just being me. Of course I gave them everything that I could give them. We need to give ourselves grace, and we can learn from what we did by giving too much, by, above all else, guard your heart, for everything flows from it. So many times, I heard thought leader Dr. Darius Daniels put it this way the other day. He goes, so you've had 3 FaceTimes with a person from a dating app and 1 dinner, and you're in love. You've already given your heart to this person. I used to do that all the time and still have to hold myself back before I do things like that, because I so badly want that unconditional love that I didn't get in my childhood. So we've got to learn to hold back, to wait, to, as Dr. Phil says, we've got to just be neutral. Don't be judgmental, but be neutral. We don't know if they're good or bad, but we let them prove themselves. And then once they prove themselves as trustworthy, or that they have integrity, or that we can confide in them and we know that they are a safe person, it's then that we can slowly give them our heart, slowly share those important things with them. Otherwise, we're going to end up like a doormat, and just people are going to walk all over us. So I encourage you to give yourself grace and say, yeah, I jumped in too early, or whatever it is you think you did. Or yeah, they really hurt me. Gosh, I loved him. Gosh, I loved her. And understand, it was nothing you did wrong. You were just looking for love and maybe jumped a little too early. We all do it. We all often do it. So first of all, give yourself grace. Secondly, and I know everyone's like, Laura, I don't want to do this. I mean, I need to keep in touch. I need to watch them on social media, make sure they're doing okay. No, you don't. Who says that? If that person dies or gets hit by a car, or their dog dies, someone's going to tell you. You don't need to watch their every move on social media. Remember, like, sometimes Facebook is Fakebook and Instagram is Instasham. Block them. And if you've got kids with this person, just like I used to say years ago when I was talking about my book, Ugly Love, and navigating co-parenting with a narcissist or another toxic person, block them, email with them. Because that person, if they're toxic or you have a soul tie with them and they know it, they're going to use every little entryway to you to get to you. I remember I blocked an ex-boyfriend, the one who broke my heart a couple years ago. Oh my goodness. And I blocked him on everything but Facebook Messenger, because we'd never messengered. Guess where he found me? Just checking in. Facebook Messenger. Yeah. And that set me back like 2 or 3 weeks in my healing. So block them. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Trust me. You can do it. Talk to your friends. Ask them to encourage you. Hey, can I call you when I'm about ready to text him? That also brings me to that HALT, right? They use this in many 12-step programs. Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. When we're any 4 of those things, we're going to find ourselves at our weakest to reach out to those people that we had soul ties with and that are likely toxic, because you wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't ready to stop those soul ties. To say, okay, I'm hungry. I'm going to go feed myself and then read a book or a few pages in a book that encourages me before I even think about reaching out to that person again. You're angry, same thing. Go for a walk, go for a run, love on your dog, whatever it is, love on your cat. Yeah, and that'll get your mind off of it. And this is just a little aside. I did not know this, but I have a good friend named Michelle, and she gets cat flicks for her cat. And this cat, I just say, send me a video of Frank watching cat flicks. That's the cat. And I will laugh for like 20 minutes. This cat is in love with cat flicks. It's like $8 a month or something. And he loves the fish and the birds. And what else does he like? And the rabbits that come up on cat flicks. Anyway, I just thought that was funny because I'm not a cat person. But this cat is like, he waits in the morning for her to turn it on. It is the funniest thing. So reach out to a friend like that and say, send me a picture of your crazy cat. You know, whatever it is. Let's see. So you block that person. You can do a prayer or a ritual or both. This is what I found most pivotal. And I did this on some remaining soul ties with some toxic friends that have been removed from my life. And it's ended up being a blessing. But we were so close for years, almost a decade, one of them. And I needed to get rid of that stuff. I still felt heavy that they were carrying parts of me around with them and vice versa. So here's a prayer I came across, and I'll let you know who the guy was who, he did a video on this. He was really good. A little religious as far as like really getting into, you know, what the church says about soul ties, blah, blah, blah. I think soul ties are going to happen when you really, really care about someone and the relationship ends in a bad manner. So here it is. So you can pray to God or the universe, right? God, I forgive, and I'm just going to make up a name, John Smith. God, I forgive John, and I release them to you. God, help me take the parts of me I left with him back. Give them back to me, Lord. God, help me give the parts of them they left with me back to them. God, I release them. I forgive them and I release them. And I give them back to you. Universe, I release this person to you. I forgive them, but they're yours to deal with. Karma, so may be it. Karma will come. I give this person back to you. It's a very freeing feeling. And it helped me by literally picturing this person, and I'm getting back all that I gave to him, and I'm taking it back. And my energy, balls of energy, the love that I visualized his hearts, the conversations we had, they're all back with me. And then the crap he left with me is back with him. I know you're like, Laura, that sounds like woo, but it worked. It really worked. And there are other rituals that you can do after a breakup. That was the prayer that really worked for me in this instance. But you know what? I'll go over some of those rituals with you in another video that have helped me. And they're just symbols. It's like assigning some energy to a rock or 2 or 3 and saying this signifies this person. and you throw it in a lake or a pond or a river, and you're giving that person to the universe and everything that they had tried to give you, you know, the passive aggressive remarks or whatever it is, and then you're letting them go. You can also do that with helium balloons. I did that very early on with, as I was healing from the narcissist in my life, and it really helped. It really, really did. Anyway, great to see you all. I hope that this series about trauma is helping you. I know I'm jumping around, but I didn't want to be very scripted. I want you to get to know more about me as well. And I want to get to know you. Remember that you are worthy, you are loved, and you are enough. Bye-bye.